What is up, internet? Back at it again.
We're back at it again with the white vans.
Here on a Monday, and I'm all charged up. Look at Chris. Chris is hating this video. God, you're like so aggressive right now.
Hey, it's supposed to be a bump stop on that.
No, there is not. We are here in the LS Nasty shipping department. Look, this was just from yesterday. These are all the orders from yesterday. So we're killing it. Giveaway, going nuts. Turbo and or nitrous, whatever you want. I just reopened sales on the Does Your Car Run Faster Than Your Mouth shirts. I got the Life's Better with Horsepower shirt. I got 2 holiday shirts. I got a bunch of hats. I got a bunch of little beanies and toboggans or whatever you guys call them. And then we got the whole lineup of hats. So I just got to plug my stuff here because the giveaway is rocking. We're getting close. We're doing the drawing on the 28th. So if you haven't been entered, all you have to do to enter is go onto the website, order any merchandise. Each item is 1 entry. Chris, what did you get?
What's that?
What item did you purchase on the LS Nasty store?
I got a toboggan. Flip up.
Oh, I see. The toboggan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got them big ears.
Oh, all right. I feel you. I feel you. Well, I'm all hyped today. I'm charged up.
Yeah, I got a text from you early this morning, so I know you're ready to
6 a.m. I know people say they hate Rome. You know Rome.
Yeah, I know.
Rome comments up on his Instagram. He hates the YouTubers that are all charged up and super energetic. But I just love a Monday. And I came in here early this morning, knocked out a bunch of shipping stuff. Gonna try to get this video out before noon. So if I get this video out before noon, I want everyone just to put the phone down for a second and give me a small clap, whether you're eating lunch, you know, just a small clap. And I'm gonna try my best to get it out by noon. But as you guys tell by the title of this video, the Bad Apple has got some upgrades. And there's no better guy to walk us through that than Mr. 82 Deck himself.
Yeah, Mafia.
82, no, not Mafia. No, we are not 82 Deck Mafia. We're 82 Deck Nasty. So let's take a stroll out there. We got a Phil and a Ben.
Phil typically doing what he does.
Yeah, Phil's just walking around. No, Ben's working. Phil's just strolling around. All right, so here we are with the Bad Apple. Chris, why don't you give him a little overview? What's the setup on the car?
It's a 302, a Boss 302 block with a little stroke in it. So it's 363 cubic inch. I don't know what happened, but John mounted the throttle body backwards. But it goes into the car for some reason. It's air to water. Just upgraded recently to a true choo-choo boy.
Yeah. So before this is what the big change is, and you guys I don't think they've seen under the hood since like the previous setup. Right. So the setup on the car, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's nothing crazy. Aluminum rods, Eagle crank, and then just like a Wiseco piston.
Yeah. So. Everything else is really good internals except for the crank we're trying to run over it.
Yes.
Other than that, the only big modification that's been done since then is we're down to a single reel belt on our alternator. But that's fabricated.
This is weight reduction here.
Yeah.
This is the first time we were at the track, we shredded the belt, and we have not changed it since.
Yeah, we shredded the belt, and then we slung one, but it still stayed inside the vehicle.
Yep.
Ben said, I'll fix it.
It's tightened the hell out of it. And it's slowly, every couple passes, it'll knock a rib off.
Yeah. But it's pretty efficient though.
Yeah.
Low drag.
Low drag. Hey, and it still charges. Yeah. So this is a street car. It's a 16-volt system, but it does have an alternator. So we don't really have to charge all the time. You can drive it around. You can take it to lunch.
Right. And I've also had people ask, well, if it's a street car, why is there not a radio? Well, I tried running the radio with 16 volt and it made it smoke. So radio doesn't work.
Radio does not work. The car runs on Q16. It is on the Holley Dominator. It's got the Holley smart coils. It's on Holley boost control. It's got a bunch of awesome sensors that all run through the Holley Dominator. We log back pressure. We log transmission, line pressure, converter pressure, drive shaft speed sensor. What else do we log, Ben?
Oil pressure, fuel pressure, back pressure for the turbo, boost pressure, converter charge pressure. We could log.
We do have a butthole pucker sensor, don't we?
We do.
Okay, and then we have.
That was Bluetooth.
Oh, is it? And then we do log throttle position also.
Yeah.
Who doesn't log throttle position?
Hopefully nobody.
So that's pretty much the setup on here. And the last time you guys saw this, the turbo was clocked. Well,
down.
What degree would that be?
It was
like
going down, right?
45 degrees, maybe. And
90 from where, or yeah, it'd be 90 from where it's at right now.
yeah, so this right here was pointed straight down, and then everything went underneath. So I know what you guys are saying. Why would you just make the charge pipe come up and over? Well, the old turbo that was on there was a tiny guy. It was a old. It was like a.
So they said 2008 was the build date. They quit manufacturing any parts 2013. So it's a Pro Mod Gen 1, and it was a 91 millimeter.
91.
Yeah, we thought it was larger. But
We thought it was a 94. It was a 91. It was tired. And
2008. Wow.
yeah, you were still in diapers.
It's 11 years old.
You know, Ben wore diapers all the way up till 2008. How old were you in 2008?
I don't know, 13.
he was rocking out to the Jonas Brothers back then.
Yeah, I was a basic trainer.
Phil was still old as shit back then. So the turbo was old, and I'd say it probably lived a good life, but I finished her off real quick, and then we made the switch from the 91. Ben pulled an all-nighter. We showed a little bit of fab, and we switched it over to the 98, which is now on the Grand National. And because of that, the turbo, the size of it was a little bit different. The flange and everything was the same. Hot side was the same, but the center section compressor housing were moved forward, and the turbo itself was actually so large, the footprint of it was so big, you couldn't clock it down. It would run into this fitting for the coolant. So we had to turn it up. Now, we ended up getting a Jose 94, so the difference is this one is journal bearing. It's not a dual ball bearing, and it's 4 millimeters smaller than the other one, but this is still a huge upgrade from where we were. How happy are you that this thing's on there?
Oh my god, the car is happy. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
We got up on the two-step the other day. The thing's like it's instant.
Yep.
Right now.
And then this thing, the AR, which is, I guess, there's some sort of equation ratio to...
Area over ratio. So like
It's pretty much how big this is, how much space there is compared to the actual wheel.
radius, the radius from the center of the wheel to the far, like the inside of the housing, basically is space away from the turbine wheel.
So this setup is not, I'd say, not 100% ideal. Jose would like to have us in a 124 AR. This turbo was originally set up for 427 LS on alcohol, so it's got a 140 AR, but that's a simple change. We got another one on the way.
It's working pretty good though.
Yeah. And what that does, really, I'd say that's more noticeable spooling and then at the down track, pretty much how hard you can spin it.
Yeah, the bigger the AR is, the more capable the turbo is of making horsepower.
On big end.
On the big end. As long as it doesn't take forever to spool, which this guy seemed to get up on it pretty fast. And we know from having the same AR, same exact backside on the 98 with this car, it'll go 113 to the 60 foot.
Which is good. Now, the biggest thing that we have to worry about is the crankshaft. We try to keep it in one piece, but...
Which is good having that big AR. So your smaller AR is a harder shock down low and harder on that crankshaft, where the bigger AR is like it's a stronger but more gradual.
It's a little smoother.
Smoother power.
So this one will not catapult you into orbit. It will gently toss you into orbit.
Yes.
We did find out we have parts on here from NASA.
Oh, yeah. It's got a badass Cameron transmission. So it's, what is it? It's got that real big case, JW bell housing, Diedenbear case.
It's a JW case.
It's a JW case?
Mm-hmm.
And then...
a ringless input shaft. It's a NASA input shaft.
So that's what they use in the spaceships, because all the spaceships are on power glides.
Yeah, they do. 2-speed. They do.
No one's going into space with a damn 400, Phil.
You need to like crop a meme in and my mind just blown.
You didn't know that?
No, they really do.
Yeah, they use power glide.
Yeah, they leave on this much, and then there's like, they get like 60 seconds in, and they go throttle up.
Yep.
And they shift to high gear, and then they exit.
That's why when they say high gear's the truth, that's why. Because the high gear will put them into orbit.
They literally do. They leave on X amount, and then they
You should see their boost curve, Phil.
There is no.
Phil wonders why. In case any of Phil's customers are wondering why he gets nothing done, right here is exactly why.
They actually use a Pro Bandit in the space shifter.
No, they don't use a Quartermax. The Quartermax.
No, they use a Pro Bandit with no gate.
So that's pretty much the big change. We haven't run it on this turbo. We did run it on the 98 and literally picked up right where we left off.
Personal best though. Still, the car
went fastest. So even with a turbo that's not spec'd 100% to the setup, that just shows you how good these forced induction Jose turbos are. It went out there and it went a whole lot faster with a less amount.
Mile an hour?
less mile an hour. So it worked better than
Could
330.
have gone way faster.
Yeah, we just didn't work at it. It started raining on us.
Yeah, we got 2 passes in, and then I think this one will be the perfect turbo for it because you know it's right where it needs to be, not too big. Those 4 millimeters are life changing.
That's what she said.
No, with that 98 on there, it would have gone.
It would have been the break the crank special.
I don't think so. I think it would have gone. I think the mile an hour was the capability.
A mile an hour with that one.
Yeah, if you put 50 pounds on the gate, it probably would have gone 161 miles an hour.
Yeah, Scat only is it Scat crank or Eagle crank? Eagle crank. Eagle only warranties their cranks up to 158.
Well, we'll just stop at 158. It'll still go fast at 158. We also fixed the leaky valve cover.
Yep, leaky valve cover was the issue with it leaking oil.
So on these heads, these top bolts here, 1 and 2, intersect these 2 valve cover bolts. So like you have to put sealant in those, or else oil from inside will leak out those bolt holes.
No bueno.
Not good.
And we had an issue with that, but we got that all figured out. We are going to do one change and move the catch can to the back of the vehicle. We're going to do that here in the future. We're going to go with a bigger catch can, like a puke tank style, and because we had an issue with this one filling up, and Chris got burnt down, filled up on the half track. It pretty much filled up all the way. It started to overflow. Got a little loose out there. It started smoking. You know, oil getting blown on the hot manifolds. Definitely not ideal. But we're to the point now where we're just fine-tuning, making little tweaks to the car. It is working really well. The TKM power plant in there is chugging along.
Transmission's in great shape.
Transmission's in great shape. Yeah, I was surprised. Cameron transmissions are the truth because Chris was on the trans brake for like 11, 12 seconds. You pulled it apart. Everything looked brand new in there.
All it needed was a fluid change.
That says something about transmission. So, a bunch of good parts in there. We run a Cameron converter in this car, Cameron converter in that car, Cameron converter in the black car. This one's a Cameron transmission. So, hit the guys up. Cameron torque converters and transmissions down in Columbia, South Carolina. They are the absolute best.
With a little bit of power we've put in here so far, I've measured like 3.6% of slip.
Which is insane.
Which is pretty daggone good, and the more power you put to it, the better I can see that number getting.
All right, well, we're heading down to Cletus and Cars this weekend. Are you coming with us?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I didn't know if you were going to fly down and meet us down there, you know, high roller. You're like Petty now, tuning to show up.
I'm gonna ride just like everybody else.
I think we're going to take this down, and Phil's probably going to bring his car. So we're going to have the Bad Apple, and we're going to have the Hippo down there, and that should be fun. Just make a couple test licks, and for us, it'll be good testing. The weather's cold. We can get a couple licks in. The track is sticky. Bradenton's a good track, so we'll be able to see what this car wants to do with this new turbo on there, and just go out there and have some fun. If there's a grudge race we can get, we'll grudge race. If not, we'll just go out there, have some fun, make some laps. I'm super excited. They got demolition drags. They got burnout contest. They got flames.
Bringing his car for demo drag?
Yeah, we didn't tell Phil, but he's our demo drag entry. Well, that's going to wrap up today's video. Just a quick little update here on Monday of what we got going on. Because last time you guys saw this car was when it got burnt down at the track. And we didn't show you guys, how the new turbo system is routed. Just a couple adjustments on the cold side and a new turbo on there, a fresh engine. Just check the transmission. So from front to back, we're looking pretty good. And it's just going to be a matter of time to go out there and test it. So I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, if you haven't already, go down and click that subscribe button because we're heading down to Florida this weekend. That's going to be fun, Cletus and Cars. We're also building the Colorado still, working on the cow, getting Jason's car fixed up. So we're trying to end this year off, getting as many projects done as we can so we have less projects next year and more racing. So that's what we got going on. If you haven't already, go down in the first link in the description below. That's where you can find the entry for the giveaway. Go on to the LS Nasty store and get you some stuff. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.